Fujoshi Green Tea Gal, and welcome back to Hot Dudes Doing Hot Dude the channel. And today I'm going to give a quick and dirty rundown of the BL hopefuls airing next in every season. Each handpicked morsel tailored specifically to your refined palate. Let's dig in. Two you guys solving mysteries? One's a pure boy while the other's a cheeky prick with issues? Well, sign me the f*** up. Ranko Monohashi, Deranged Detective, is the new hotness from Akira Amino, the creator of Hitman Reborn and L-Dive, two shows with subtle and not so subtle BL undertones. It's an odd couple style setup with two guys engaging in, and I can't stress this enough, BL's absolute favorite occupation. Crunchyroll and Mal are being pretty stingy with plot details, or are just preserving as much of the mystery in this detective anime as possible. But from what I've seen so far, this looks like it was made just for me. The Fujo gods are smiling upon us this season, as we're being granted a true yaoi title to finish out the year. Mastanchi, This Shouldn't Lead to Love, is the newest thirst trap adaptation from yaoi-loving studio Blue Lynx. It's another sun and moon dynamic, as Genki and popular Saikawa becomes smitten with the introverted yet prickly Sayama, after ripping his COVID mask off one day. He offers to tutor Sayama in exchange for the chance to sexually harass him every chance he gets. You know that age-old rom-com trope? Even without reading ahead, this seems like the sort of setup where no really means just ask me when there's less people around, and the Sekohara is really played for laughs. Problematic or not, this is a must-watch for me.
Oh, look how happy she is. Her eyes aren't focused.
Okay, now that I've muscled past my initial lizard brain reaction, pretty boy sing good me watch, I can tell you that Paradox Live is finally making the long-awaited leap from novels, live shows, and CD dramas to anime this fall. If you're unfamiliar, Paradox Live is a collab between Avex and G-Crest. The anime and eventual mobile game will have a hip-hop themed, boys-only, not-too-distant future setup, where rappers wear accessories that create illusions during their performances. I wouldn't call this BL show exactly, but it's got an undeniable feminine gaze energy that I can't help but recommend it. Oh, and speaking of hip-hop, Hypnosis Mic is finally getting a second season this October as well. If you forgot what the heck Hypnosis Mic was between now and fall 2020, basically normal violence was abolished, and words and music themselves have been weaponized instead, making the rap battles very literal. Why they couldn't space these weirdly similar anime out, I don't know. But best believe I'm going to be watching both of— Wait, another one?
Another one.
Ensemble Stars is getting a shiny new movie and— No. Shut up, is that 5? There are 5 goddamn singing pretty boy shows in the same season? What absolute madman thought— Kawagoe Boys Singing is about a boys' choir with a cheeky, affectionate lead that motivates his classmates into their best selves. And thanks in part to my fondness for the first act of Dokusei, I'll definitely be checking this one out. F it, I'll sleep when I'm dead. All the sugar's gotta get tempered with spice, of course. Be careful not to cut yourself on all the edge this season, as October is boasting more angry boys per capita than I ever thought possible. Oh, would you look at that? One of them's a silver-haired twink doing a thing in a dark fantasy setting.
My favorite.
Ragnar Crimson will have our mysterious MC fighting and killing dragons for humanity's survival. The MC's potential daddy issues aside, I'm keeping my eye on this for— what's the collective noun for a bunch of pretty boys? A body? Nah, that's too easy. A dynasty? I'm watching this for the dynasty of needlessly pretty fantasy dudes on the cast. That and because the few female characters that are here roughly follow the whore Madonna complex, of being either villainous and unpredictable, or angelic and untouchable little sister types. There's such a sharp divide between how the male and female characters are portrayed, and now I can't unsee it. Why does this look so familiar? Oh. Hamitsu no Okoku, or The Kingdoms of Ruin, is the latest in revenge-fueled edgelord technology, but this time with a modern-day witch hunt. Humanity has just decided magic is obsolete, and 21st century tech goes up against arcane powers. Now that sounds dope, but this show actually piqued my Fujo interest by breaking the male power fantasy tradition. The cast is mostly dudes, and mostly there just for him to beat up on. The lack of harem or romance tags means the MC doesn't have a flock of multicolored waifus orbiting him, just the one whom he treats poorly, making her seem like so much set dressing in the poster and cover art. Also, you don't name your MC Adonis and expect him not to completely hog the spotlight, even from the prerequisite cheesecake. On the opposite side of the OP protagonist spectrum is Will. The Faraway Paladin is finally back with Season 2 this October. I had a lot of fun with Season 1, and it had no shortage of low-key BL as the show itself seems to ship Will and his androgynous elf bestie Menel every single chance it got.
If I didn't, most likely I'd be prostituting myself out in some back alley.
You do have a pretty face.
What's that?
Nothing. Go on.
So after 2 years of bringing peace and justice everywhere he goes, Will is now the OP Lord of the Land. So it falls to him to thwart the new looming crisis, the fire of black calamity. Yeah, I don't know what that looks like either, so here's some non-specific spooky bullshit to fill in. This may be Will's greatest challenge yet, but not only will his ride or die Menel be with him every step of the way, looks like he'll be training a beefy new side piece as well. Hot firefighters? I bet. Megumi no Daigo is definitely gonna scratch the itch of anyone going through Fire Force withdrawal, or anyone old enough to remember the movie Backdraft, or people who were just huge fans of that one Comic Festa hentai. You know the one. Anyway, this straightforward action dramedy is about firefighters coming together to save Japan from one blaze at a time. This is going into my big ol' BL chum bucket, because it's another one of those 98% male-filled professions BL anime is so fond of. And due to the nature of the job, the show can't help but dedicate a large chunk of its runtime to beefy, sweaty dudes training, living, and working together every single day. Homoerotic setting aside, watching them genuinely try to save people and bond on the job will be a treat. Speaking of bonding on the job, our next anime is two guys just doing their best in a chaotic work environment in a Tadashi Joshi wa Dotennen, or My New Boss is Goofy. Starring office worker Kentaro Momose, who recently started a new job and is kinda worried he'll have a shit time here as he did at his old one. But luckily his new boss proves far less problematic. And with the added Fujo-friendly bonus of them working in a place that seems to be mostly staffed by men. If this anime isn't fluffy BL, it's trying its best to look like it is. Honestly, this looks adorable. If you're like me and you enjoyed the charmingly awkward antics of cool dojidanshi, or office worker gems like Ice Guy and his cool female colleague or Wotokoi, then this romantic slice of life should be right up your alley. After summer's surprisingly BL-filled Oku The Inner Chambers, Netflix is keeping up its romantic semi-historical drama trend with Onmyoji. Like Oku, it'll be another ensemble cast of needlessly beautiful men, but now in a fictionalized Heian period, and loosely based on real-life Hashot exorcist Abe no Seime and the clumsy royal he, befriends. The BL vibe you're probably already picking up on might have something to do with Onmyoji's director Yamamoto Sobi, who worked on the fluffy BL Konodanshi series. Onmyoji is clearly a beloved story that has been adapted a bunch of times in various mediums over the past 2 decades, and with varying levels of BL stank on each of them. So Netflix saw this and went, "Mom says it's my turn to play with the toy now," and is dropping a new anime adaptation on November 28th. Oh, and I can't believe I showed y'all all this footage without mentioning Heaven Official's Blessing is back this fall with Season 2. There's a feel-good train this October and it's not derailing. Next season's Dog Signal is a fluffy When Harry Met Sally type beat starring soft boy Miu, who suddenly finds himself having to care for his ex-girlfriend's dog with no pet-owning experience. But he gets shown the ropes by a local dog whisperer Niwa, and through their time together he learns to be a better, more responsible person in the process. I took a look at the mangaka's other work and she's especially fond of dog stories and narratives about 2 guys lifting each other up. I'm definitely putting this in the it's not BL but category. Mal and Annie Chart only reveal the most basic plot details, but with slice of life shows like these, you're tuning in for the immaculate romantic vibes. And it rains, it pours because we're actually getting 2 racing anime this season. Overtake features a depressed freelance photographer that gets his groove back after he meets hotshot Formula 1 racer Haruka, and after looking into his dreamy eyes all of once, he leaps headfirst into helping Haruka and boys like him achieve their speedy dreams. This is already another must-watch for me, and as a Fujo, it's hard for me to ignore any show whose premise sounds like a banana fish opening lyrics. Undead Unluck already looks like it's gonna be completely unhinged, high-octane blast that I'm gonna enjoy the f*** out of. It stars unkillable slab of beef Andy, and see it other powerful oddballs, the negotiators, put foot to supernatural ass to protect the city. A lot of that going around lately. From the female co-star Huko's point of view, this looks like a budding romance between her and Andy. But from Andy's point of view, she's just a test subject while he tries to find ways to off himself for good. Granted, the hetero ship is sunk before the show's even aired, but I'm actually putting this on my list for the frequently stark naked protagonists. As I've pointed out time and again, male characters being extremely nude for no goddamn reason is just one of many ways anime likes to say something without actually saying it. This has only gotten truer with time. Is incest is wincest in Niki to Dari. Spooky twins have only each other and their one cute friend to rely on, as they solve mysteries in a strange us against the world type setup. For one last dose of edge, we have Kami Arabi, or what I'm calling Death Game with my smartphone. It goes all up out of its way to tell us it's not a romance or feel-good story, and the only positive constant I can see in this prickly MC's life is his silver-haired bestie that gets pulled into the games with him. I can't help but be reminded of Tomodachi Game, that Death Game anime that snuck in a BL plot right under our noses and then screamed, "It's just a prank, bro!" as the MC gets a little surprise smooch. So I think Kami Arabi might definitely be worth a gander. Shangri-La Frontier, that VR game fantasy anime with the Genki boy turned shirtless shoebull protagonist I mentioned last season, will finally drop this October. And last but not least, Yuzuki-san Chino Yon Kyodai. It's just 4 brothers taking life one day at a time and looking out for each other in the complete absence of women. And that is it from me. Which of these are you most looking forward to? Are there any BL-friendly anime I've missed? Tell me and others about it in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to check out my BL Clips channel, my Anime Reactions channel, or my new Art Process channel linked here and below. Bye for now.